Okay, and we're back with 9.1 called composite functions and inverse functions. So if you'll notice that we're going to be finding values, okay, and we're also going to be finding the inverse of a function. Those are the two things today. Okay, so anyway, and this is -1 right here. Okay, so we are going to be finding f of g of 1, g of f of 1, f of g of x, and g of f of x. And here are the two functions. F of x is equal to 3x squared plus 4, and g of x is equal to 4x minus 1. So the way you do it is, first of all, you write the left letter, parenthesis, then you write the next letter, then you put the 1 inside, and then you close parentheses. So you go over to g of x and you plug in 1. 4 times 1 is 4, minus 1 is 3, so your answer is 3. So write the 3 with the parentheses around it, put the outside letter in there, and then go to the f function and plug in 3. So that would be 3 times 3 squared plus 4. 3 squared is 9, times 3 is 27, plus 4 is 31. Okay, second one. Copy the first letter, copy the next letter in parentheses, put the 1 there, and close parentheses. Always work inside to outside. F of 1, you're going to plug 1 in for x in the f function. So 1 squared is 1, times 3 is 3, plus 4 is 7. So write 7. Parentheses, the outside letter is g. And now we're going to go to the g function and plug in 7. 4 times 7 minus 1 is 27. Okay, now that's not complicated enough for you. We'll make it a little harder. Let's do the same thing again. All letters this time, outside letter, parenthesis, inside letter, put the x, close. So this means g of x, now you're putting an x in for every x here, which just, when you always have letters, just copy the function, which is 4x minus 1. That's the g. Put the f outside. Now go to the f function, and you're going to copy it. And wherever you see an x, you're going to write 4x minus 1. 4x minus 1. Close it squared plus 4. Okay, and you are going to square this function. Okay, and that would be 3. And you're going to square this, write it twice, and you're going to get 16x squared. Okay, minus 8x plus 1 plus the 4. Okay, oh, and close parenthesis. So you're going to get 48x squared minus 24x. And that's 3 times 1 is 3 plus 4 is 7. We got to conserve space. This board is only so big. Okay, we're going to come over here, copy the first letter, parentheses, second letter, the x or whatever value there is, and always work inside to out. So copy the f function, which is 3x squared plus 4. Okay, put the letter that's outside, and that means go to the g function, which is right here. Wherever you see an x, you're going to replace it with this inside. So that would be 4 times 3x squared plus 4 minus 1 equals, and you're going to get 12x squared, and that's 4 times 4 is 16, minus 1 is 15. There you go. Okay, moving down. Now, I gave you the functions up here. So I gave you the function and asked you to perform some math. Now I'm giving you the final answer. I want you to give me the two original functions. Okay, and that would be f of g of x. So what is f of x and what is g of x? It's really simple. The inside, okay, is always g. Okay, and f is always the outside, which would be the parentheses to the third power, and put an x in the middle. And there's your answer. Do the same thing over here. F of x, g of x. The g gets the inside, 4x minus 5, and the root, and always put an x inside. There you go. Let me pull it back so you can see the whole thing. And you can make a picture if you want. Okay. I'm going to turn this board around. And now we are actually going to understand something new that you maybe have never heard before, the horizontal line test. You've heard of the vertical. This is the horizontal. I'm just maneuvering this. Okay. Horizontal line test. Remember, horizontal is straight across. So if you can draw a line and it goes through a graph in more than one point, that means it is not one-to-one, and the inverse is not a function. Okay. I don't have the materials to show you what an inverse is. I could roughly show you. So if you have a graph, and this is your graph, like this. That's your normal graph. The inverse would mean the exact mirror image across y equals x. In other words, to get the inverse, you switch the x and the y values. That's what the inverse is called. So is f of x equals x squared 1-to-1? Well, what does x squared look like? It is a parabola that looks like this. And if you draw a horizontal line across, it touches it in 2 points, and the answer is no. Okay, we're up to finding the inverse. First of all, always write y equals the function. Remember I said to find the inverse, you swap the x's and the y. So swap them. Now solve for the new y. That means move the 2 across. So y is equal to x minus 2. Okay, so that is considered the inverse in the way that you label it. You write f negative 1 of x is equal to x minus 2. That is known as the inverse. Let's do it again. Always write y equals first. Now switch the x's and y's. And solve for the new y. That means move the 3 over, make it x plus 3, and divide by 2. So y is equal to x plus 3 over 2. And label it. Oh, I'm losing it. Sorry. There you go. So f of negative 1 of x is equal to x plus 3 over 2. Okay, the third one. Always write y is equal to 1/4 x plus 2. Switch the x's and y's. Now move the 2 over, and you get x minus 2 is equal to 1/4 y. Now I got to get rid of the 1/4, which means you can multiply both sides by 4. Okay, so the new y is equal to, and that's 4x minus 8. And write it in the correct format. And there you go. Move it away so you can see what I got here. Okay. See ya.